and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2, but collision. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, they're joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT. What do you make of the show heading home?
Not so good, Al. At this moment,
so negative, aren't you?
Sorry,
Jesus.
I always am about, especially about NXT. I'm sorry. It was a bit of a come down, wasn't it?
Not for me. I liked it.
Yeah. I wasn't that impressed or enamored with the new look. It was just the old one, but chromier.
Black and white.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been red and white.
I'm already, you say red, I'm missing the colours already.
It's black and white, isn't it?
No, I just don't like anything Triple H infused. When he talks about NXT, it's just too many bad memories. It was just all right, this. Honestly, right, it's because I'm disappointed with some of the outcomes, like a little mark. Like, I'm actually invested enough in a couple of the foo-heads. I was like, oh, is that what we're doing? So maybe I just need to be more patient with the excellent chef skills of Shawn Michaels.
Some moments that weren't without merit on the show. Some moments that were not without merit. 3 matches on here where I just wanted to just quit. What am I doing this? What am I doing? What am I watching this for?
You piece of trash.
It's, oh, God.
I had so much fun watching the show.
You didn't know you.
I did. Stephanie Vaquer looked brilliant in there. Gentleman's duel. It's loads of fun. Different set of rules. How's that work? And I thought the main event was spectacular. Really enjoyed that. Result, I understand you being upset about that, but gimmick. They've gimmicked up the rematch.
Yeah, I do need to be
table
more,
ladders and scales. Come on.
More positive about Halloween Havoc, not least because...
Sorry?
Excuse me.
Halloween. Let's get that thing out of the loft still.
You won't be able to cover it.
Yeah, I'm gutted.
And how are you, Stitch, with like Halloween and spooky season? I hate it, me. Like, what are you like with just Halloween in general?
I'm glad you asked, because this means that there's less time to talk about this NXT program. I'm not absolutely gaga. Like, I don't do cartwheels. I don't, like, put X's through the days on the calendar. I can't wait to bloody October. But I am a seasonal dude in general. Like, when summer comes around, the tropical shirts come out.
What's summer for our American listeners and viewers?
Sun hat. Sorry, I don't want to alienate the Yanks. So when the sun comes out, the margaritas get drank, the tropical shirts come out, the outdoor days with the family, the Mediterranean or Balearics holidays, Christmas, I start doing the old like spiced alcoholic beverages, like I just gorge on loads of food, I get into the mood, do like loads of activities. On a smaller scale, I do October. I do October. There's certain music that is just more enchanting, I guess, in October. I always spin Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. That's very much an October record for me.
Monster Mash.
By sheer coincidence, I play one video game a year, pretty much.
Yeah.
Other than like FIFA with the boy, or Mario Kart with the daughter, I will, Mario will get a look in, but I'll play one video game title a year. Because what I'll do is, and I know what I'll do, I don't want to waste my money because I'm rubbish at video games. I'm just terrible. The hand-eye coordination, the reflexes, like the puzzle-solving skills, I'm just not good. So I get one, knowing full well, I haven't spent that much money on it. I'll probably make it to 3 levels before I get scared and give up. I'm playing Doom 2016 on the Switch. It was ripping demons apart with your bare hands and chainsawing them, and it's a bit of a spooky monster vibe. So that's a bit October-y. Maybe that's a subconscious thing. And I'll pick about 3 or 4 horror films as we get deeper into the season.
Dress the kids up.
They're returning from little jaunt on the day of Halloween, so we don't have to bother with that this year. Get in there.
It falls over half term, so they're with their grandparents. I don't have to take them out trick or treating.
Usually, annually, we do that and do trick or treating or whatever.
It's nice to get the one off, though, isn't it? To be honest, it's nice to it comes around and it's this already, because then straight after that you're into fireworks night and then Christmas.
Yeah, we haven't got
a frigging occasion around the corner that they want to.
So I'm not one of these watch a mandatory horror film every single night, but I'll do about 3 or 4 as we get into the last week and, all the decorations go up. And I'm a vibesman, really. I'm going to watch the Stephen King's It miniseries. I've got that on Blu-ray nearer the time. I think George A. Romero's Day of the Dead, certainly last year, was just on YouTube, no ads.
Oh, nice.
Just on pirate minute, no one cares. Day of the Dead absolutely rules.
It's no Romero's Dawn of the Dead, is it? That's the one.
It is an inferior film, probably, to Dawn of the Dead, but I subjectively enjoy it more. I like the army dude. He amuses me no end.
You're a big food.
And I want to know what the you're doing with my time.
I don't want to spoil it, because it is the season where people might be watching these for the first time. I know it's like 40 years old, but it's still the climax of Day of the Dead.
That's gnarly as hell.
It's the best of the lot.
And he's a good heel.
Yes.
He's a good heel.
Yeah,
He deserves what's coming to him.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Day of the Dead.
Never watched it.
Can you handle gore?
No, is it zombie stuff?
Zombies.
No,
and
thank
gore.
you.
Like
good. I'll
very
watch more Ace Ventura. Thank you very much.
It is your fed in a way, isn't it? There's never enough. Like, I'll be like, well, there's probably always
Dawn
some.
of the Fed.
There's always some WWE I could be watching. Like, well, Ace Ventura again it is.
Yeah.
Let's just wind it all the way back.
2 of them. So, you're a big foodie, obviously, Sige. Yeah. Me and Andy have talked about this.
The news.
Low bar.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Between the 2 of us, come on. But I thought me and Andy have spoken about this before. Just for 1 year, not getting rid of it permanently. Trade offer. No Halloween, but you get a Thanksgiving instead. And all the holiday and stuff that comes with it. So if you want time off to prepare a nice Thanksgiving meal for the family.
Pumpkin pie.
I wouldn't want to harm a Christmas, right? I wouldn't want to harm a Christmas. And I would feel like if you're having the turkey at Thanksgiving and then the Christmas ham, I'd be so devastated on Christmas Day.
Let's have a second turkey. They have turkeys in America.
You know what? I actually love turkey.
Yeah.
I think it's delicious, and I think if you cook it correctly, it's genuinely beautiful. So, second turkey.
Second turkey.
Would probably sit me down at the ground.
Yeah, I'd have Thanksgiving every year over Halloween. Wouldn't even give it a second thought. Thanksgiving.
You quite like horrors, though, don't you?
Yeah, less so now. I've gotten softer in my old age, had kids, and I could not cope with children in peril in any form of media. Just it was like an overnight thing. So that rules out some horrors. Yeah, me and my wife, pre-kids, would go to those like Halloween film nights sometimes, because we'd first gotten together around the time of the first Saw movie, and it became, because there was about 20 of them, it was always like something to do as a nice thing. But yeah, I've gotten a little bit more delicate around, less so gore, but just when the themes are around kids in bother, it's a bit much. So like when that applies to families as well. So if like a family...
Which Saw film was that? Saw 17, kids in bother.
Time to play a game. Oh, cool. No kids. No, you've not been watching. He's up to bad stuff. But like, I used to have that. I feel like you'll have had this as well, Sige. That period where like the grimmer the film, the more you felt like it was a little bit of a badge of honor. So like doing a double header of both funny games, for example.
Yeah,
we did that once. And they're pretty much shot for shot. Like, however, it's like, well, doing both because I'm hardcore. I'll take them both. Like, stuff like that where it was like, if somebody told you this was a bit of a test.
Yeah.
So, right, well, I want to do that then. I want to have that ticked off. So I've seen a lot of them, but a lot I would never revisit now.
Yeah.
My wife, while I was out recently, my wife watched Eden Lake, and I don't even like that film. That's an example of something I need to put in the past now. I can't think of a life that Eden Lake reflects.
No, I'm the same. Like, there's certain horror films that I'll watch because they're incredibly well put together. Like, I think Hereditary is the best horror film of all time. It just does something to me in that film. So if it's...
I'm a Shining guy, and that's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah,
Shining's perfect.
Good enough, I'll watch it. But on a general tangent, films that are designed to bum you out, like Weepies, or like really challenging, bleak films, like Requiem. I would never watch Requiem for a Dream at 39.
Yeah,
like
I've seen it.
I just don't want to be
You've
bummed
lived too
out.
much of bleak real life to like...
I just like escapism. I don't want to be bummed out anymore.
Yeah.
If it's got something like really powerful to say and it gets raved about and it would come out next month or whatever, maybe. I can't be. I don't want to be bummed out. I already have to watch this every week.
Well, speaking of
NXT
cinema,
every single week.
Speaking of cinema,
No.
the show
No, I'm
opens.
still having that segue.
The show opens with the, big recap of what happened last week. And the new North American champion, Tony D, sat in the ring. He's got a tablecloth and a glass of red wine and his belt on there. Spotlight, quite rightly, shining on the Dan. And he says, "Oh, look, I wanted to come out here and have a big celebration as the new NXT North American champion. And I wanted to celebrate with my family because I couldn't do it without them. I wouldn't be sitting here today without them with this title. But I want to give a toast to the former champ, Femi, the longest reigning North American champion in history, and the man, I'll be honest, who broke me. Oba, you are a machine. But I needed to win this title by any means necessary, so I used your greatest strength against you. Pride. Pride that you will dominate and break any man that stands across the ring from you. Oba, I baited you into thinking that once again you broke the down. Nah, I had you right where I wanted you. I seized the moment, I did the unthinkable, and I beat you. So, part of me wants to think this is over, but I've been doing this a long time now, and I know we're far from it.
You haven't.
So in the meantime,
Seen literally every match you've ever had.
yeah, to Femi, salute. And he raises a glass in a toast to the former champion, and that, of course, brings out Femi, who marches down to the ring. The family are already in there, of course, and he says, "I can't lie, Tony, you got me." He congratulates him, says, "It happened once, but it won't happen again. I will regain my title. I will be the ruler of NXT." And he goes to leave and stops and says one more thing.
One more thing.
Your little family will not be by your side to help you. And as he goes to leave, he spins the wheel and it lands on tables, ladders, and skirts.
I wouldn't have gone back to it myself. I would have been interested to see Femi reflect. We talked yesterday about maybe like a few weeks off TV wouldn't have hurt him after a first big defeat. But I actually quite liked Tony D saying that, like, because in the context of these two, he does have experience, and that he's actually said this during this FUED. They are trying to add enough human characteristics to Tony D'Angelo that aren't mafioso. Maybe that's an acknowledgement that the character as it is maybe wouldn't work. Disagree. I kind of want to watch it on Raw and SmackDown myself, but you see enough pushback that this simply cannot work on the main roster. So this is what they're doing now. It seems like wrestling for the first time is his primary focus, and he's gone and won a title, and he's thought about how to beat an opponent mentally as well as physically. Not bad character development for Tony D'Angelo, this. I just personally don't feel like I need this rematch, because are we back to where we were? Are we back to, not that we will be having the conversation because you won't be here, but are we back to this thing where, like, well, if Femi gets the belt back, that's Tony D off to the main roster, or Tony D beats him and then Femi is losing upwards? We've done it.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't revisit it personally. I don't feel like the stakes are going to feel as high, because it is it's a rematch and a rerun, and they'll just use weapons to try and make it feel different.
Yeah. Hang on, I don't understand. Is Tony D saying that he worked the Rocky storyline from day one to... Because they just say, they write down words, these writers, and then the wrestlers just say them.
He worked his fear. He was showing, like, Femi was like, "Look at you, mate, you're scared." Like the backstage segments where, like, Tony was kind of like, "I don't want to make eye contact." That's Tony saying, "I was luring you in, and I got myself physically better."
But then he said he broke him earlier in the
With
promo.
the initial defeat, he broke him. So at that point, Tony went back to the drawing board, and he was like, "Right, I can get into better shape physically, but how can I start to make him think that I'm done?" And
okay.
This is playing.
Yeah, bit dumb. Bit dumb.
Well, it's a champion, so not that dumb.
The strategy was good. The storyline's poor.
Disagree, but okay.
I thought you knew about cooking because the proof's in the pudding.
I will say that when Femi stopped, turned to the camera, arm to the wheel, I was like, "What's it going to be?"
Yeah,
it's got a
What's
wheel.
it going to be? Come on, make the deal. Oh my God, he's going to make the deal. He's going to spin the wheel, and then he's going to, sure enough, he's going to make that deal.
Yeah.
How is it that when we've had years now of spin the...
We're going to have to get a reinforced ladder.
Oh, yeah. The Big Show's big ladder.
Yeah, the Big Show's big ladder.
Yes. Spin the
Big
wheel,
Show's
mate.
big chair.
I loved his big weapons. His big chair was so funny. Massive. Spin the wheel, make the deal in WCW resulted, and that wasn't in like anywhere near as crazy a setup as NXT of present day. Had Jake Roberts and Sting fire laser beams out of each other's eyes. How have we not had that in NXT? That's more believable in this universe than Bill Watts' WCW. You know what? It said, people don't believe it. Stop coming off the top rope and there's a fine you. Jake, I want laser beams out of those eyes. We need to get the business back.
I do. WWE's been on top too long.
Byron Saxton's backstage with Ora Mensah ahead of the gentleman's duel. And Ora asked about the rules. Breaking any of these is a DQ, by the way. You can't strike your opponent when they have 4 points of contact on the ground. You can't throw someone over the top rope out to the floor. You've got a 3 count on a rope break instead of a 5, and there's absolutely no fighting on the floor.
It's not better or worse than pure rules, but I don't like those either. It's just...
I mean, it's worse than pure rules, mate. I mean, if you go on all fours like a f***ing hound, then it means no one can punch you. Come on, the pure rules, no better or worse. I'm not even a big advocate for pure rules. No better or worse.
That is a UFC rule they've introduced there. 4 points on the ground, you can't strike them in the head.
Is it?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a bitch.
TKO.
You can't kick them in the head, I should say, actually. You can strike them.
You could go and punch, right, so you can't do like a...
Yeah, but
I
don't think anyone in the UFC is going to use the same loophole that...
Hey,
I think...
don't rule it out.
Do you know why I was thinking of pure rules? Because I think genuinely, and I think I'm talking here, but like I really mean it, the 3 count rope break is a better rule than the 3 rope breaks rule. It's more tension. That's a better match rule for the excitement.
There's a good library of pure rules matches, and then there's this Gentleman's Duel starring Lexus King.
That's fair.
Great start. Great start.
Great start, is it? Great start to life, is it? Great.
Are you going to start running with a bit that this is the best new stipulation in wrestling now that the Iron Survivor is established as well?
What's a bit?
So there's a good chance.
What's a bit?
I was always Iron Survivor is my first love. I think that's a new stipulation.
You've got a son.
As a new stipulation, I heard that at the end. Oro says Lexus is pretending he's not his father's son. He's going to beat He beat Lexus at his own game. Lexus walks in and says, "That's disappointing to hear, Oro. It's a wrestling match tonight." And Oro says he's not buying all this.
What's his own game? Like putting your feet on the rope, like you're an octogenarian trying to get in on the planking craze. So he looks. That's how slow it is. He's hopeless. Best of all time, though. Yeah.
I enjoyed this match, yeah. We'll get to it in due course. Before that, Stephanie Vaquer's in-ring debut against the leader of the Ren QCC, Ryan Sinclair. I thought Stephanie looked great in here. Dominates early on, of course. At one point, Ren did reverse into a brief cattle mutilation, but Vaquer gets out of it, flips out, and rolls Ren up for 2. Stomps after sending her into the rope. She stomps on her. It's a leg drop, head scissors. She drives Ren face first into the mat several times and gets a near fall. Ren, though, ducks a shot, comes off the ropes, runs Vaquer over, hits a diving bulldog. There's a clothesline in the corner, double underhook suplex. But Vaquer ducks a charge, hits a big dragon screw, hits her with a double knees, then pulls Ren up and hits the double underhook backbreaker to get the 1, 2, 3.
I like this mainly because Stephanie Vaquer didn't do anything that you hadn't seen before, but just executed some good stuff very, very well. So often there'll be this temptation with a debut or whatever to be like, well, have you got anything that just nobody's done for years? Or, for example, not, is your moonsault just the nicest moonsault in wrestling? Well, get doing that then, that sort of thing. This wasn't that. This was Stephanie Vaquer kind of like night one showing herself to be a bit of a ring general.
Yeah.
And they love saying this best women's division stuff. It's because they've got the most. But as I keep saying, like 30 women in the background of a backstage segment doesn't mean it's the best. It just means you've got the most women. She wrestled this like she's going to lead this best women's division, taking the place of Roxanne Perez, who also wrestles like that. Like there was there was a quality lift in this match for me that you don't often get with NXT debuts, and haven't recently got with another one as well.
I mean, she looks the part. She is the business. She looks the business. And I'm always fond of an indictment at the Performance Center, and that was this. She just looked really, really, really accomplished in there. Just a total star performance for me. There was an odd feeling of... Sorry, I need to do my noises. I rate matches by the noises I make now. It's a new thing. And the noise I was making for, I would say, about 20 seconds, so it doesn't really matter that much, was... And that was when they were going back and forth, and there was the element that Ren Sinclair was like out-matching her. No. Then the noise was like, because she just looked like she just cut through the competition handily, easily. Her stuff looked absolutely great. Her stuff looked... I mean, there's no way to genuinely calculate this, but I would say about 50 times better than literally everybody else on NXT. I know it's an apples and oranges comparison. She's got way more pages on the old cage match ski, but yeah.
You know how we were talking about for Julia, the playbook is ask her. Whether or not they obviously had the way they were going to go, and it hasn't gone so great for Julia yet, but there is time.
It's getting worse by the week, brother.
In this match, and maybe she just watched tape, or it's just a coincidence, but the dragon screw and
the dragon screw looked awesome.
Dragon screw and the leg, like grapevine attack thing, were like early features of Asuka, basically showing how dominant she was. So that's what Dana Brooke and Emma and the like were taking to just get across. She's different gravy. We're in trouble.
Different gravy.
And it's not that wild a swing to say, actually, we probably should have with Julia. Watch a couple of tapes. Nick a couple of things from that to make it look dominant. Stephanie Vacquer's got them in a locker anyway.
Yeah, but Julia can't do it.
Well, all right.
She's tried. I don't know.
Asuka had like a good running knee, and Julia's V-trigger thing has failed so far, hasn't it? So
yeah, I mean, if you can't do it, you can't do it. And the story, she hasn't been able to do it. Stephanie Vacquer's completely outclassed her. And, you know, you're asked to draw parallels between the characters in the storyline, and it always is going to happen. If you debut to, it's the Tensai Lesnar thing.
Austin Aries and Nakamura.
Yeah, you know, if you debut to, remember Punk and Danielson in AEW? Oh, they're both goated. This is amazing. Life can't get any worse. Yeah, like you're always going to invite that comparison, and the other one at this point is like leagues ahead.
Well, speaking of which, post-match, NXT champ Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade run down to attack Stephanie Vacquer, but Julia runs down to make the save, lays out Cora and Roxy. Julia hits both of them with a drop kick. They send them to the outside, and Stephanie Vacquer grabs a mic and lays down the challenge for a tag match at Halloween Havoc.
Aye, we knew it was coming, didn't we?
Yeah, it has emerged.
And it has emerged. And we get them for the first time next week as well, don't we? That's
yes.
Later on.
Trick is backstage with Kalani Jordan with their belts, and they're saying how good they looked last week with those titles raised. They were talking about Trick facing the winner of the main event. He runs down his opponents, promises this title run's going to go better than the last time. And he says, who are you facing next? And she says, I'm going to let Ava pick. And you see Fatal Influence walking in the background. They're going to pay Ava a visit. Also, there's Carmen Petrovic and Brindley Reese talking about Stephanie Vacquer and Julia out there. Ashanti the Adonis walks up. Sorry, ladies, for costing you a match the other week. He hits on him. Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen walk up, and Spears...
He goes in Adonisly.
I love that.
I still like that. I still like
that. Spears criticises him. Brooks takes the rose and rips it. He doesn't know what love is yet. And then they're interrupted, not by a different person from Ava's backroom staff. But his name actually escapes me now I think about it.
It's Robert Stone.
Leave it, you guys. We'll handle it in Ava's office. And just as you think that scene's over, Carmen Petrovic bends down and picks up the remnants of the rose.
Yeah. It was Carmen Petrovic, was it not, that was none too pleased when the Adonis gave it to that audience member that time. And
oh, yeah.
More later.
Virgin I think Adonisly, I think she's got the hots for...
All right, and so...
Ashanti.
Not surprised.
Put the clues on this one. Dropping like petals.
Time for the gentleman's duel, which already entertained me in the first minute or two because Vic Joseph...
Oh! Teachable moment!
Acknowledges this is a little bit weird with all the new rules and what have you. And did you catch this? He said, but what's the most unusual match you've ever been in? Booker T went, I've never been in an unusual match. And he went, San Francisco 49ers match. And he went, let's concentrate on the action.
He once worked a handicap match against the TNA referees while wearing his king cape and crown and commentating on it.
Yeah.
That's it. He's on the big Scott Hall. I don't know. I've had strange ones.
Not me.
No. Not for me. I like it.
So at one point, Mentor's beating down Lexis King, but smart. He drops down to all fours, and Mentor has to stop before he gets DQ'd. Oro almost gets chucked out over the top rope. Lexis has to save him, otherwise he'd get DQ'd. They exchange crossbodies as we go to a break. When we come back, Lexis King gets a swanton for 2. But then Mensah makes his comeback. They trade some uppercuts. There's a rolling Liger kick from Ora Mensah. There's a springboard kick to the face for a 2 count as well. Mensah blocks the coronation. It gets a really good near fall with the crucifix, but King escapes, cradles Mensah with his feet, and bridges over to get the 1-2-3. Post-match, Lexus the gentleman offers a handshake, and Ora accepts it. Ora looks a little bit skeptical as Lexus celebrates with his challenger.
I mean, it was rubbish. I kind of want to see how far they go with this Lexus King. He's all right. Because you assume it ends in a heel turn. Well, you know, he's not actually a face. But then in NXT sometimes stuff just happens for a few weeks and then all of a sudden they've dropped that and he's just a baby face. They, like Duke Hudson and Chase U is one that springs to mind. But there have been loads like that. I just kind of got bored of that. And we kind of like Lexus King in segments with whoever. And it just because I'm kind of interested to see if we're on this sort of, they're actually trying to like have a character evolution with Lexus King. Is there... I'm talking about the Bill Watts off the top rope thing, and then there was spots in here where it was like, whoa, 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 nearly like that. There's Brian Pillman law to that, isn't there? You know, he didn't like being told he couldn't fly off the top rope, and Bill Watts was like, well, I'll bust your ass down to jobber. But he didn't know that Pillman had signed a guaranteed deal, so it was like, well, all right, I'll be the highest paid jobber in the history of the company. Shove it up your ass. Cowboy won't like that. And I wondered if, like, because they've been mentioning Brian Pillman again. Like it was for a while, it was like never mentioned Pillman, and now it's kind of coming back. I wonder if they were trying to babyface Lexus King through that earnestly by like sort of making, hey, you could work a bit like your dad. You could fly. You could be flying like Brian.
You can't.
You can't. I don't know. He can't go, but I kind of want to see them try.
I mean, I don't. Lexus King can't even do 1992 high spots.
No,
like he stumbled on the top rope. And he, like, almost, I can't remember, either undershot or overshot. It didn't look good. This pretty basic. Even I could do that. It's just like you basically just jump and go, hey. Here's a question.
Let's set this up.
Here's a question. Has Lexus King got arthritis?
I don't know.
Because it takes him about 4 years to do anything. It takes him about 4 years to do anything. Talk about sluggish. You know, like, he's got no snap, no speed, no agility. He's a frigate. He takes forever to do it. Did the bridge for the pin. I'm sure like it will take just as long to erect a shoot bridge. I've never. It's
31. We're all in our 30s.
In fact, he's 31.
Yeah,
friggin' hell, man.
X-Pac
was like 25 or something in the mid-90s.
It's kind of wild that, like, he just is so slow and not dynamic in the least. It's just weird. Like, you talk about, like, maybe the baby facing him. It's like, if they ever did, it would never register with me. He just screams heel.
It's like, they love their fast fire-ups with a good bumping heel sort of thing, like... You'd need like 1995 Shawn Michaels.
I was going to say, why Shawn...
do a speed bump off one of his punches to make it look fast.
If you see Shawn Michaels just take a right hand from the Dead Man or a right hand from Razor, he's like, he's on the floor, like, it's instant light switch bumping. What does he watch when he sees Lexus King?
Because he used to hate those guys. He's like, I'm going to have to bounce around King Kong Bundy for 15 minutes, Vince.
In this ring.
And like, maybe he's testing the other wrestlers that wrestle with him. Oh, I did it. So see what you got.
Cedric Alexander.
This match was somehow more ass than Nikita Lyons versus Lola Vice.
Very good. That's good humour.
Good stuff.
It's good, though.
For those that don't watch and only listen along, check that match out and you'll get that.
Cedric's there with Javon.
You should tweet that.
He's ticked off stuff on his bucket list, but he's focusing on the number one contenders match tonight. In walks the tag champs. That is, of course, Axiom.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Cedric's not happy about them costing them a couple of weeks
team
ago.
in wrestling. We say this every week. Maybe the best team in North American wrestling. When I'm cleaning windows.
He wasn't my car.
Wesley walks in, tells Javon to stay out of his way tonight. They get into it after Javon calls him salty, and they get split up. And then we get a reminder.
Cringy dialogue and delivery. Yeah.
We get a reminder of Metaphor get involved on SmackDown, of course. And then the vignette. Lash and Jakara talk about damage control success. But Lash says they're about to swap them out of the Sky Pirates. The match is set for next week.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What match is? Sorry, I drifted off.
Metaphor versus Sky Pirates. All right.
Oh my God.
For that.
Oh my God.
We get
It used to be a button.
It used to be a button.
Button used to be something.
We get a profile on Nikita Lyons ahead of her match with Cole Carter. No, sorry, Cole Custer is the one I'm thinking of.
The NASCAR driver.
The NASCAR that I'm just seeing. Cold Custard is going to be here next week.
Cold Custard.
I presume he drives the NXT
Cole
car.
Carter 2 times.
Yeah. It's because I've seen that name and I've got it in my head.
Weird though, like your lights sort of flash before your eyes for a second. Cold Carter.
Name I haven't heard in a long time.
Cold Custard. A NASCAR driver, Cold Custard.
I assume he drives the NXT car.
Aye.
I'm gutted I'm going to miss that. Oh.
Some Mr. Breen looking asses were talking about NASCAR. Shooting on with NASCAR. I love it over there, don't they? I think it's better than Formula One, to be absolutely fair to them.
What?
Have you seen NASCAR?
It's just a oval, isn't it?
Yeah, but like
I know, like that's
crash into each other.
I realise that's probably the NASCAR fan equivalent of some dickhead going, "Oh, it's just 22 blokes kicking a football around." There probably is strategy
You know, it's
and
fake,
stuff.
right?
Yeah,
If they just crash into each other, it's like F1's gone. I hate it.
I started watching Cars for the first time over the weekend.
Yep. What, like
That
as in
Lightning
outside your
McQueen's
window or the film?
No, the film. That Lightning McQueen's a dickhead.
Yeah.
I've never seen Cars.
Too big for his wheels.
Yeah.
So he learns a lot of lessons along the way.
I better do because he's probably stuck in that town where we left off.
That's
so.
it, yeah. Oh, go back to it. You might be. Is that you switched off? I'm sick of this arrogant car. You're not sure you don't know how films work.
Eric
Don't know
fell
how
asleep.
children's films work.
Eric fell
Might
asleep.
go on a
unfortunately.
mystical journey.
Eric was born, he fell asleep. Yeah. I don't like the cut of this guy's jib. It's going off.
Turn this off. This premise gets stretched by Cars 3, but Cars 1 and 2 are decent.
You've never seen Cars?
Never seen Cars.
Come over. Watch it. I mean, Eric.
No.
Offer's always there, mate.
But just to watch Cars. Cars just starting up.
We still need to watch that Jackass.
We need to have
Yeah,
our
so I'd
boys
like to watch
night.
that Jackass.
Dadley's night.
What was the Jackass 4?
Jackass
Yeah.
Forever.
Jackass Forever, yeah. See if it ever pops up on the stream and then we can do it then. But
Maybe one day we'll head to Chesterfield to watch the Mighty Spy Rights.
Maybe one
Who
day.
knows?
I'd love that.
Yeah, Nikita Lyons has had some setbacks and she's doing a bounce back or whatever. And then, yeah, we find out Cole Custard's coming in next week. It was time for Nikita Lyons versus Lola Vice. Vice kicked her down, did a little dance. Nikita Lyons kicked her down, does a bum wiggle as well.
Boom, wiggle.
Wiggle their bum.
Lyons missed a charge into the post. Vice beat her down on the mat, set up a running hip attack in the corner, but then Jada Parker appears. Who could have called that? We did. On the apron.
It had emerged.
Lola kicked her, but that allows Nikita Lyons to super kick Lola Vice out to the floor. And Nikita takes the referee whilst Jada Parker hits Vice with a hip attack, chucks her back in where Lyons hits the Lion's Roar to get the 1-2-3.
She licked her finger and went "Rawr" afterwards. Here's something, right? And it's like you kind of criticize these wrestlers who are in a fundamentally flawed system and who barely really wrestle, and that's not the emphasis. So what are we doing here? I don't know. It's not for the comedy. It's not for the romance. It's not for the horror because Tatum Paxley's not scary.
It's for all of them.
Whatever.
The wrestling buffet, as I like to call it.
Okay, I know you do. Doesn't bother me. I don't care about
no,
any. I don't care about Nout.
Ah!
Yeah.
It's like, was it on earlier on the Dynamite where you just casually threw out? I like to call it the narrative ecosystem.
When did you do that?
You just did it today. I think it was on the Dynamite. You were just saying something. Yeah, I get that. I like to call it the narrative
I
ecosystem.
must have just that's my that I would have been if I'd heard it and paid attention. I would. You can say how AW's rubbish, isn't it? I was like, yeah, sometimes. I don't care about that no more. But my you stop touching that.
Thankfully, I've only ever said it there, so I'll never say it anywhere else. Huh?
You complete and utter. You say like this on the SmackDown all the time, like an absolute bell end. This match was 60% of them wiggling their asses. Yeah. So, and here's something. So I was about to say, belly wrestle. Don't know what it's for, right? So you can't really criticize the wrestlers for the things they do. The amount of times in NXT specifically where they do some kind of spot like this, where it's like some kind of interference, something drag your ass back in the ring. The amount of times they do the pin so close to the ropes. Like, oh, hang on, I better get your arm away. Like, just go in the middle or something.
They were really close to the ropes.
Yeah, every single week I see like an egregious, like the referee's like sort of like wrapped around the friggin' ring post in a crescent moon shape. Just trying to get
it in the hand because it's the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
It's worse live as well. Shows you how the audience in Florida aren't discerning in the slightest, because live wrestling at first, you have to suspend quite a lot of disbelief the first tag match you watch, don't you? So I just go there and tag. Like, that's quite small in real life as opposed to the telly. But yeah, that'd be even worse live. There's so much ring.
Not for them, they like it.
We go to Ava's office. She hasn't got a surname. She's the Rock's daughter, general manager of NXT. And there's Stephanie Vaquer and Julia.
You know, whenever me and Hamford just do a podcast and it's just us two,
yeah,
all I ever am is complimentary to your brilliant work as a host and how difficult I find it. Just get my name out your mouth on these SmackDown reviews. That's what sounds like it's going on. I'm a pretty paranoid guy.
It's not. I just like to use certain terminology. That's all.
He's telling the truth there.
I was going to say I'm going to listen to one of these SmackDown podcasts these days.
You should treat yourself.
Yeah.
If you like a food chat and 10% wrestling analysis.
And you do. You're into that.
Not really. Your foods.
It's not you generally.
But they're interrupted.
That's exactly what you want out of me. 90% food and 10% wrestling.
I'm not listening to you, but I am watching you.
Okay. And you can on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it like that.
Okay. Fatal influence.
Comments will be like more Sidgwick on SmackDown.
Self-indulgent down more like.
The comments are like, SmackDown needs more Sidgwick. And be like, you're right, we will get him on. And then you get to do it every week.
Come on.
You get to do SmackDown every
I
week.
don't want to do it, man. Sometimes I forget to watch it, so I'll be like kind of uninformed.
But next week's good though.
I see the Cody stuff, genuinely. I see the Cody
You'll be able to
stuff.
cover it while Wilbon.
Yeah, don't worry. 2 weeks of it.
You get to see them. Catch up on where all the action's at.
And I know what's going on. The children could comprehend it. Because it's intended for children. On like TV 14-8W.
Blood and swearing.
Yeah. Guts. Blood, guts, coming.
I bet, like, in all seriousness, it's reached a point where like the stuff he used to whinge about, like the Undertaker would go for it, wouldn't he? And I would like, yeah, I'm experimenting with bags. I'll probably be into guns. Give it 6 weeks and I'll be doing guns and knives. It ain't so bad. That's the pictures I remember.
It's so bad.
So fatal influence.
Don't need to worry about the goddamn Mattel contract. All I hear these days is Mattel. We're going PG. You can't even take a chair to the head no more because of friggin' Mattel.
And it took it away from the boys.
I got a $10 million check in my mailbox, but I wanted to take a chair to the head.
He's such an idiot on the McMahon documentary where I understand why they had to do it. And I thought any normal human being would say, because, you know, the head trauma and, you know, my quality of life after I get out the ring. So I understand why they did it, you know, goddamn shareholders. It's an equally actually a more important issue today. How about the health of the workers as opposed to the profits of the show? Oh, that sounds like namby-pamby liberal bullshit to me, son. You get off my property.
Don't try to tread on me with your chair shot rules. I just want it to be realistic. How can I look like a credible zombie from space if I can't swing a goddamn chair? You can take my chair, but you can't take my lightning bolt fingers. We need to give him something.
When my arms go down, your flames go up.
But now when I'm stood in it, for Christ's sakes.
Fire that man immediately.
Hey, Sean, I'll give you one more match of Mania, but only if you give me a wipe to get this mustard off my face.
Fire that man immediately. Okay, Mark, we will terminate him now. Set that motherfucker on fire right now. I'll do it myself with my fingers.
There's that bit in the documentary that says, I don't need to tell you what I would have done if that man was in my sight when I got backstage. I think you do, Mark, because you certainly would have physically assaulted him. Yeah. What is it? I don't need to go into detail.
So in Ava's office.
Yeah,
it's his way or the Callaway.
Yeah, they're good. Fatal Influence come in, that being, of course, Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, and JC Jane. And they say, oh, how come everyone's getting title shots around here except us? And Ava says, oh, two of you beat Stephanie Vaquero and Julia next week and you'll get a North American title shot. And they agree.
Just like Fallon Henley's half into it, the other two just immediately themselves and don't want to be wrestlers anymore. It's like, make your minds up.
Yeah, just why at work? Why are you at work?
Then it was time for Ridge Bloody Holland versus Riley Osborne. I like Riley Osborne's entrance.
Yeah. The weird stuff with the camera and the boo, boo. I was into that as well.
Good stuff.
Was that what happened to Chase U?
Rave you, more like.
Away kit you.
Yeah.
School's out in it for the time being.
I see, this is it, right? Ridge got on them. I like them new kits, the red on black. It's a nicer look than the old one.
And as Ridge makes his entrance, Riley Osborne flies in.
God, this absolutely stunk, didn't it?
I preferred it when he flew in for the entrance bit. It's like he's just off to the side, that line.
Holland fought back and just dominated him, hit a running knee to take over. He cleared off the announce table, but Osborne jumped off, hit a running DDT to the floor. But in the end, Holland takes back over, hits a head and arm superplex to put Osborne down. Huge powerbomb. And then the Redeemer DDT gives Holland the victory. Post-match, he keeps beating him up. Thea's yelling at her dad, the person, she reminds him of his daughter.
Yeah. No sex.
He clears off the commentary table. It looks like he's going to kill Riley Osborne by putting him through it. And Andre Chase comes back.
Oh, teachable moment.
And Chase knocks him down and clotheslines him over the top. Oh, so good to see him out of hospital.
Yeah, I know wrestling just does stuff. Had he just got there? Because if he even 15 minutes earlier, he could have come out to ringside with him. Could have got there halfway through and given him that lift, that kind of thing. No. He waits till he's been soundly beaten, and then he's about to do the same table move again. Like that. It's stretching it a bit, isn't it?
This is wrestling, and even I'm not a dickhead about that.
Otherwise, these wrestlers that go to university within a wrestling school were kind of going through the motions a bit here. This was a...
That would suggest that they were accomplished. That would suggest, right, going through the motions, that would suggest that they were accomplished... but decided for whatever reason, maybe they were tired or maybe they were a little bit banged up, they decided to phone it in.
Yeah.
Ridge Holland is not accomplished.
No, but that was the vibe that we had. Not the accomplished bit, but everything else you just described. This is like one of them Coliseum video ass big man matches where they know they've got to work.
They were respected territory, men.
They've got to work 6 more times that week. So you've got I don't know, Warlord versus Coco Beware from the Boston Garden.
Ridge Holland should be working 6 times a week. He might get good.
He's heading to another town that day.
Oh, he's hopeless.
Yeah,
it's probably not his fault even. He's in a broken system.
I did have a bash in the main roster as well, to be fair.
He was in a broken system.
Yeah.
I probably did a lot of house shows. Probably.
Same match as the other week.
Yeah.
It's the same mediocre come dreadful match. There's a thing where they're like, he's trying to climb on him. The commentator's like, he's trying to climb on him. He's doing something. I don't know what it is. It's like, what am I watching here? It's
Booker's not watching.
So,
yeah, sure is.
So bad.
Got any voucher codes?
The greps are gonna suck. That's what I was going through my head.
Andre Chase come back was nice, but
yeah,
it's just funny that it was there.
Yeah,
what are you, man?
I like the idea that he keep getting taken out and then someone comes back.
Yeah.
So next week, Andre Chase gets his ass handed to him and Duke Hudson comes back. Week after that, Duke's getting beaten down. Riley comes back. It's just circle. Just keep doing this.
That video of that parent trying to put triplets to bed in separate rooms and they just keep going one keeps waking up. That's Ridge Holland versus Chase U.
Not to creep you out too much, but we go to Tatum Paxley, her interview. She's playing with her dolls.
Tatum Paxley gives me the career. Which doesn't. It's absolutely pathetic.
Tatum says she never forgets when Wendy pretended to be a friend and play with her dolls, only to stab her in her back. And Jada's like, Byron, leave her alone. Come here. Talks about Lola Vice. Tatum's not happy that she's interrupted her interview. And she says, look, I don't care about you. Or I'm sure you can handle Wendy, but I don't play, says Jada Parker.
Jada Parker's like a good promo and a bit of a badass, and I just like the quality of Jada Parker. Tatum Paxley is just
scary.
Shut up, man. Why don't you shut up and have some dignity?
You know what we haven't considered in a while? The Florida business owner who, again, kept like, it was fresh tomatoes for a bit, it was green goo for a bit, and it was like, well, we're definitely done this time. What have you bought now? 16,000 toy dolls that nobody has a use for.
No.
Shawn Michaels.
I'd like to buy some dolls, please. Probably only like 5 or something. No, my person keeps cutting the head off them, so I'll need a bulk order of them.
Bulk order. That's the remix of the NWO theme. That bulk order.
Brooks Jensen versus Ashanti the Adonis came. Anything you want to say about this?
No.
Back in the game.
Brooks Jensen versus Ashanti the Adonis.
This is so tedious.
It went back and forth between the two of them, but then Carmen Petric comes down and empties
taking notes, did you?
empties the rose petals on the side of the apron.
Back and forth, breathless action. You know the drill, guys. I don't have to talk about it. It speaks for itself.
She puts the rose petals on the apron. That sort of fired up Ashanti the Adonis. He beats Brooks down in the corner. Drop kick, goes up top, but Sean Spears crotches him on the top ropes, and Brooks hits a DDT to get the 1, 2, 3. But there's something there between Carmen and Ashanti.
What is it about these Sean Spears storylines / matches where he says, like...
It makes everyone boring.
Like, here's
Sean Spears vortex.
Here's a clever plan in which you lose, and then, here's cheating and I'll win. Like, Ashanti Adonis got the fire up off the roses, and then got beat anyway. It's like, is that like Shawn Michaels thinking this is perfect because I'm going to get my story across, but I'm also going to get Brooks Jensen over at the same damn time?
Well, he needs someone in his corner, Ashanti. He needs Carmen in his corner.
I wanted more Brooks Jensen. Like, Ashanti Adonis has come to NXT to have sex. Brooks Jensen, did he not want to do the same thing? I wanted there to be more. This is like a bit of a Triple H. Hey, these have got a link, and we never really explored that.
That's disappointing.
I'd like to explore that a bit more.
I think they gave up on the idea of him getting his end away a long time ago, and you need to maybe get over it at this point. Brooks Jensen certainly looks like he's been drained. His balls have been drained because, oh my God, he does not look like he's interested in moving or doing much. It was so short, and yet it was such a never-ending, tedious heat sequence, this. He looked all right when he was a little smoke and gun kind of guy, moving around in his little double teams with the other one.
Josh Briggs has got such raves in Japan, he hasn't come back yet. So.
He was rubbish. When they would jump out the ring at the same time, when the guy was draped over the ropes, and BAM! Give him a little what for?
Get the beer and have 0-6. That's our night.
Used to be able to move. But now I look, you're a WWE kid. You're a heel now. Time to do nothing and get no. time to do nothing and get no heat.
Yeah.
He's saying genuinely, it's a bad character, a bad new working style. What's Sean Spears thinking? Maybe the grass ain't always greener.
Sean Spears is always thinking that's why he's so good at playing mind games.
He's obviously terrible at playing
Hit me full in the face with that steel chair.
He's terrible. But he just really put both of our careers in a state of decline here. That's not a good master plan, is it? I mean, this guy, Brooks Jensen, one of those boring performances I've seen all year.
You said that, I thought you were talking about us reviewing NXT.
Yeah, probably the same.
You put both of our careers in a state of decline. Trying to analyse Sean Spears' mental gymnastics.
Well, what must they be thinking? Man, the grass ain't always greener.
I don't know. Like, do you think he's keeping his fingers crossed for a shoot player coach role? He's bought into Cody's terminology so much that he's like, well, I'm in the right place.
I mean,
probably got a good relationship with Punk, so he's getting in with the new management back from the MJF feud.
He would have crossed paths probably, no V-dub.
Yeah, same time. Like, Spears was partners with Cody as well, wasn't he?
Cody was after Punk.
Oh, maybe not. They maybe just missed each other.
Maybe just missed
back when Punk was booking the territory with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Pick him up from the airport. Hi, Dad. And then told me how to write TV.
Told me how to write 50 minutes of matches in a promo.
We get another video package.
And ladies and gentlemen, collision.
Yeah, honestly, there's an element.
Yeah.
Hyping up Delta. And then we see Lexis walking through the back, celebrating his win. He's very happy. He gives his condolences to Ren on her loss. Thanks, Charlie Dempsey. Says, maybe I'm ready for that rounds match. Just kidding, but maybe not.
This is what I liked about it. Because now they can do daft backstage stuff where they're like, the grossest guy that we all hate being around is all right, actually. Like, I want a couple weeks of them segments. I don't need the matches, ever.
No. And then brilliant. Just follows King, and then boom, straight into the D'Angelo family.
That was the West Wing.
Walk with me. Stack says, Gee, you see the look in Oprah's eyes? I'm sorry.
Poor.
And Tony says, oh, don't worry about him, all right. He's just trying to regain a little mental edge before Halloween Havoc. Riz says, tables, ladders, and scares. What does that even mean?
And then, go on.
Luca Crucifino says, all it means is that anything goes, Riz.
Incorrect. It's a tables, ladders, and chairs match, just with a pun name instead.
Yeah.
Can't do anything.
No.
Look, Oba is just trying to threaten us. No one threatens the family, Don. I know you got to Oba in a few weeks at Halloween Havoc. I know you got to focus on that. Let me have Oba next week so I can show him the true power of this family.
Luca Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Tony says we'll get it done. Oh, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
So, this is the MGF gauntlet must continue. Mm-hmm. He's had Hammerstone.
Yeah.
He's had Stakes. Now he's getting Cristofino. It's just a bit MGF build, the storyline.
Must be why I like it so much.
True. I used to love MGF's gauntlets. And then they did get a bit boring. I'd be up for one now.
Greatness echoes greatness.
I'd be up for one now. I think enough time has passed.
Yeah. When was the last gauntlet?
I'll go for a wee watch you talk about this.
Yeah, when was the last gauntlet
Why?
in AEW?
I need a wee.
Well, it's been nearly next to the main event.
It's an elegant Wilborn.
I think his last
What was your
one-
last gauntlet that you liked in AEW?
Well, the last one that they did, you have to face these characters. The Danielson one, I was like, we're doing this again. And then it was Danielson versus Roosh, Danielson versus Bandito.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, the matches are awesome, so
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's go. That's what tennis elbow is really kicking in.
Hey!
Thanks.
How we going, guys? What do you make of the show last night, huh?
Good. Nice to see you celebrating and in great spirits with Tony. That's what I like. You're my friend.
And speaking of spirits, happy National Liquor Day!
Hey!
Speaking of which, Sid, what's the deal with liquor?
Liquor, I guess we call them spirits over here. Just alcohol with a very high percentage, beverages with a really high percentage of alcohol in them, as opposed to beer, which is a relatively low, unless you're Matt Rains, or unless, you go for these like barley wines masquerading as beers. Wine has got a decent, but it's like, put it this way, liquor's not your shandy. It's when you want like a nice stiff drink after a hard day and you want a real potent, quick effect entering that bloodstream. My favorite spirit is tequila. And what I like to do sometimes is if I'm just sick of beer, because I get a bit bloated off beer, feel a bit heavy, what I like to do is order like a little glass, a double shot of tequila on ice. The idea being that I couldn't just do this. I kind of train my palate through my passion of margaritas to just get into the taste of tequila, and you can get like different characteristics of it. There's like lovely vanilla quality to a good tequila. But the good part of being able to drink margaritas for so long and get a taste for that tequila is that you can go to a pub and order it, and everyone's like, what? Just tequila on its own? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I can't drink that anymore. I had a bad night at uni. I was like, I can.
That's right.
And it makes me feel like a big man.
Trying to drink it like a big man was what finished me off when Weatherspoons used to do like 5 for £4 or something.
Legitimately.
Just keep going. Sick. Everywhere.
I am pretentious, very much so, but I don't do it just to impress people, even though it's kind of cool when you do. I actually like the taste. You can't get a taste if you try hard enough, Stacks.
Well, you know, illegal casinos and sex actually have a lot in common. That's right. liquor at the front, poker in the back. Nice call back to the What Culture live show there, of course.
Yeah.
I'd like to do another one of those if you guys would have me.
Oh, we'd
absolutely love to have you back. Would people travel again?
Hey, let us know in the comments, right, guys?
Yeah. Well, Stacks would. So Stacks can.
Yeah.
Flying in.
You know, wants to hop behind.
There's all sorts of...
You like watching the goddamn Godfather. That's all I'm saying. 3 questions, 3 joke for you. Sige, question joke number 1. What do you call an illegal liquor store run by mice? What's even that look like, huh? Picture that.
Illegal.
Yeah. So that would be...
Off license.
Illegal, because that's like prohibition stuff, isn't it? Moonshine, that's...
Yeah. Rodent. Can we get that in the palace?
Mouse.
Public mouse?
Don't mind it.
I don't think it's that.
No, Stacks is...
You can tell by his body language.
Got away.
An illegal liquor store run by a mouse. Is there any famous mice?
Mickey.
Mickey's Licky.
Let's go with that.
Mickey's
We're not topping
Licky.
Mickey's Licky.
It's so good, but not right. You're actually pretty goddamn close with the whole prohibition kind of thing, huh? What do you call an illegal liquor store run by mice? A squeakeasy.
Ah, that's good. That is good. I like Mickey's Licky too.
Mickey's Licky's good stuff. Question joke number 2, Hamlet.
Yeah.
What is the best liquor for watching Formula One?
Race car drivers. Lewis Hamilton. Benz. Monaco. Eccleston.
Damon Hill.
Vodka.
That might be actually better than the goddamn punchline.
Is that the punchline? So let's carry on.
Sometimes vowel sounds are really funny. The idea that you would walk around and nobody's ever told you it's vodka. So it's, I'll have a vodka.
I'll have a vodka.
That's what you say one time. Why say it weird like that? It just changes everything.
Gin.
Anything in pit stop.
Pim's stop.
Also good. What's the setup again, please, Stacks?
What's the best liquor for watching Formula One?
Oh, so yeah. I did vodka.
Slow gin.
Oh, yes. Yes, that. Slow gin.
Even though it'd be the
Good night, right.
the worst one,
It's
really.
the opposite in a way, but-
What is the best liquor for watching Formula One? Rum!
That's good stuff.
Final question, final joke for you.
I can tell James that one, I think.
Tell him this one as well. Why does my girlfriend call me Jack Daniels?
My name's Daniel, and I'm a serial masturbator.
Something in Jack in it, something in stiff, hard.
Right, okay. Why does my girlfriend call me Jack Daniels? Because I'm short, and I'm stiff, and I go down easy.
Yep.
Good night, right. Why does my girlfriend call me Jack Daniels? Because I'm the best hard liquor there is. See you later, guys.
Bye, Stacks.
Oh, you're joking.
Again.
What are we joking about?
I missed him.
How do you know?
Because you say, see you later.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
It was a long piss, wasn't it?
Yeah, bloody hell. Like a racehorse. Anyway, main event time.
Bloody hell.
Like a seahorse, more like. It's small. Got small cat.
Yes. Sure.
Main event time.
Not really.
No more contenders match. It was Javon Evans versus Wesley versus Ethan Page. Wesley got super kicked at the bell. Evans sunset flip Page for 2. Evans kicked Lee out to the floor and Hurricane Rana's Page. Nice, crazy start to the match. At one point, Lee fires back on Javon Evans, and Ethan Page is just enjoying watching this. And then they realize, and Evans catches Lee's foot and throws it into the Page, and they knock Ethan Page out to the floor. Page backdrops Lee onto the announce desk, celebrates on there, and in an awesome spot, Javon Evans comes flying through the ropes to take out Page with a dive. That looked great. To take us to a break.
So when Ethan Page is doing his face,
Yeah.
hey, and then got wiped out.
That's awesome,
Enjoyed that, yeah.
We come back. Page stomps on Lee and then Evans. Then he grabs Evans and body slams him onto Lee. He grabs Evans and front suplexes him as well. Then throws Lee into the ring post, shoulder first. There's some mounted punches to Javon Evans from Page. Gets him up, power slam. Near fall, Lee has to dive in to break it up. Evans ducks a shot, and Lee with a DDT to Evans and a kick to Page all in one motion. The near fall in there. There's triple high kicks that knocks all of them down. Page knocked Lee off the top. Evans, though, right there with a running super Spanish fly for 2.
Oh my God.
He also sprung off the ropes, hit a jumping kick for a nice 2 count, and another great near fall off a cutter on Lee. And they set up as they go home for a Tower of Doom. But Evans flips out and lands on his feet. Boots Page out of the ring with a super kick. Comes off the top rope with a big tornado splash. He's got the match won. But Page jumps in, rolls up Javon Evans with a cradle. 1, 2, 3. He is the #1 contender.
I wouldn't have done it, but we're getting it, I guess. So maybe they've got one more. It's a bit like the
One more clunker in him.
Yeah, like Tony Dio with everything, and I like that match. Like, you're throwing weapons at a thing and hoping ultimately.
Yeah.
The step they've landed on, literally.
It was.
Well, yeah, after the match, Page calls out Trick Williams.
I'll stop watching.
He says, if I've got air in my lungs, this title's mine. Spin the wheel. Page comes out, spin the wheel. It lands on a Devil's Playground match.
Which, as you know, Sidge means anything goes.
Yeah. And Page hit him with a stage light and stands tall to close out this show.
That was good. If you switched off Sidge, go back and watch that because you'll enjoy that. We were just talking about Randy Savage decking the Warrior at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And he absolutely drills him with this spotlight.
Oh, good.
What even is that? And it makes this like real clang as it hits the ground as like Ethan Page throws it away. It's the tag match thing. It's the multi-man thing. Javon Evans, when there is movement around him, is best served, isn't he? Because like
Breathtaking.
It's
Yeah,
amazing
amazing
when things are going on and then John Evans makes himself a part of it. It's a really great formula that continues to serve him well. Served this match well. I was surprised by the result, but like disappointed. Like I was wanting to see Wesley win and see that match. We'll get there.
Maybe they just want more of a long-term build for that sort of thing, I suppose.
Yeah. It just doesn't. The title's not changing hands, is it?
No.
So maybe this is Ethan Page's NXT right out, possibly right off. I don't know.
Very exciting match. I didn't like the punching sort of back and forth, the boo-yay stuff midway through. Just didn't really feel particularly earned. Like it wasn't this huge match. When they decided to wrestle the match, it should have been this really cool triple threat. There were some really creative and exhilarating moments. It was like a rush of like, oh! That's the noise I'm using to describe the.
If you're not getting out of Javon Evans, you're doing it wrong. And
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Asian and wrong.
So I did enjoy it. There was a lot of breathless moments where I'm like, oh, really? They're really absolutely gunning for it here. And the finish, I'm like, but you left.
Yeah.
What are you doing this for? You've had 2 matches and they were both piss poor. The second of which was so piss poor that if I'm booking this and this is the plan, and I would think it's all laid out fairly well in advance. It's not week to week. Certainly coherent. I'm changing the next match. I'm doing an arena with doing this match. It sucks. They've done it twice and it's been crap both times. I was astonished, really. I was astonished.
It's not even a week 1, week 2 deal. This is going to be the main event of an NXT show.
Of NXT.
Would you book this?
No, I agree. I think it should have been Wesley. But then again, like you say, if they've got a bigger plan for like, right, we're keeping Femi busy and he's going away for a while, maybe they want Wesley for later on in the year.
Might be Wesley and Javon Evans following Havoc in the singles.
Ooh. That would kick ass.
Yeah, that would be awesome, yeah. And then return of Trey Miguel from the dead.
You really want that, do you? That one
Halloween stuff, isn't it?
Prop graves in the entrance.
They better do some physical set.
Yeah, they will do.
They will.
In the giant cactus.
I don't want to sound like every dickhead on Reddit. Oh, they should bring back the Halloween Havoc set from 97. Oh, that's going to change the business, isn't it, pal?
Cut to, they've got the big pumpkin. We're doing the review. They got the big pumpkin!
I mean, I would like it. I would like it. I just don't want to be confused with any of them.
SmackDown Fist.
SmackDown should bring on the SmackDown Fist. WhatCulture so biased when they bring back the SmackDown Fist. Oh, so you're biased in favour of an inanimate object that there's never booked in its life because it's an inanimate object. But that'll make everything better. And going back to 2016 had that moment. So imagine go back to 2019. SmackDown, dog food, doppelgangers, and Shorty G. And there's someone on Reddit going, bring back the SmackDown Fist. That'll make it better. And he grew up, stop living in the past, and realize that inanimate objects can't make a television show better. Loser.
If the SmackDown Fist was booking it, it'd need one of them like novelty pencils, wouldn't it? Because it's so big. You couldn't have like a Kip Sabian biro.
Aye. He's one of them.
The pencil.
He's one of those big ones, wouldn't he?
SmackDown Fist in a mic drop.
Shut up, man.
Let us know your thoughts on NXT in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. You actually follow all three of us.
This could make it out better.
You can follow Michael Hampler at
Michael Hampler.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at Sidgwick.
Tony Khan needs to give the Fist a chance.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow our brilliant producer at It's Adam Nicholas. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE.
The tunnels in, I know what to do.
Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from. For daily wrestling
on the learning
podcasts.
tree. Anyway.
I know this has been the
It's like clean finishes.
No, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamlet Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Fix and bring back the SmackDown Fist, man.